The cameras captured everything when Sabalenka and Eala exploded courtside. The tennis world will never forget what began as a tight rally. The entire match was altered by a single glare, yell, and line call. Microphones captured the ruckus, the crowd gasped, and neither player gave up. Eala's disobedience and Sabalenka's rage clash under duress. Points were no longer the only factor. It has to do with pride. There was something more profound, something simmering beneath the surface, behind every serve and every look. It was too late when security intervened. The entire globe had witnessed it. Videos go viral online in a matter of minutes. Legends chimed in, and fans were divided. The same question is now being asked by everyone. What actually took place that day at the courtside? Long before the explosion, it started. Long before the headlines took over and the audience gasped. The tension between Alexandra Eala and Aryna Sabalenka, the current dominant force in women's tennis, has been boiling subtly match after match, glance after glance. Setup. The competition the young celebrity sets out to make her mark in that same exclusive arena. Sabalenka was a player who played with fire, emotion, and unreserved strength, and she was always recognized for her ferocity. A stadium may tremble from her roar. A camera might be silenced by her look. She was more than a rival. She was fierce. Eala, on the other hand, represented something different. Calm, control, and precision. Her game was based on discipline and determination, and she was a rising star who represented the aspirations of a new generation. Time froze where Sabalenka blazed fiercely. It was during the trip that their paths first came into contact, with a brief handshake. But those who saw it knew something unspoken started there. Perhaps it was the different personalities. Perhaps it was because I didn't recoil when Sabalenka's bullets roared past her. Or perhaps it was rumors that the Philippines will produce tennis's next big star. She also didn't fear the old guard. Fast forward to this match, a high-stakes clash at a packed arena under humid lights. Legends are formed or broken on this kind of night. Despite being the favorite, Sabalenka remained unfazed. During warm-ups, reporters saw how composed she appeared. With her eyes locked and earbuds in, her expression was unreadable. But Sabalenka was not like that. She was pacing and grumbling to herself. "Breathe," her coach's voice resounded from the sidelines. "Simply engage in your game." The first few games were electric. Each rally has a purpose. Each stroke seemed to convey a message, and the sound of the ball striking the strings felt heavier and harsher. For the first time, the top seed appeared shaken when Eala broke Sabalenka's serve early. A fist clenched, a flash of frustration. It was felt by the crowd. The storm was coming. The animosity between them started to be discussed in whispers by commentators. "There's no love lost here," someone said. "You can feel it. This is private." The score became more competitive. Under the lights, sweat gleamed. Sabalenka was merely enraged by Eala's composed assurance. A risky combination for an emotional manipulator. Cameras captured the stare when I passed Sabalenka during a changeover and their shoulders barely touched. Sabalenka turned, her eyes icy and her jaw clenched. The audience was unaware of it at the time. However, that glance and that one act of rebellion would be what ignited the trigger. A single call that modified everything is on fire. Both ladies returned to the court with something more substantial than skill or strategy when the chair umpire called time. It was no longer just tennis. Under the lights, pride, reputation, and emotion collided. And the detonation was just a few seconds away. It took place quite quickly. The kind of moment that permanently defines rivalry. In the second set, the score was 4-3. Tension that cuts like static through the atmosphere. Eala was serving, her rhythm perfect and her eyes serene. However, Sabalenka was agitated, pacing between points, shrugging her shoulders, and giving her opponent a fierce look as if her gaze alone could shatter her. Then it took place. The phone call. Eala's serve went over the line. A scorching ace down the tee. Sabalenka's hand immediately shot up as the audience screamed. She yelled, "Out!" at the umpire. Her expression was one of incredulity. The chair umpire shook his head calmly but warily. It was a good ball. There was silence for a minute. That perilous quiet before chaos. With a strong voice, Sabalenka argued as she moved near the net. That was eliminated. It was seen by all. Eala, standing on her baseline, didn't move. With a detached, icy gaze, she only stared back. That served as the catalyst. Sabalenka detested being disregarded, particularly in the light of the court. She pivoted to face Eala. "Do you believe that was in?" At last, Eala responded in a low but sharp voice. The decision was taken by the umpire. "Engage in play." The audience gasped, not at what she said, but how she said it. She seemed to be the adult in the room, composed and in control. Sabalenka's mouth tightened. Cameras focused on her face. Anger, incredulity, and pride colliding simultaneously. Next was the serve. Aya threw the ball high and hit it perfectly. The same place, another ace. Sabalenka didn't challenge this time. The crowd muttered as she swung her racket frustratedly through the air, missing the ball she'd thrown up to serve next. Something was unraveling, and you could feel the vibe changing. Commentators made an effort to stay awake. Here, Sabalenka is becoming distracted. One claimed that she is allowing her feelings to rule her. Sabalenka won the next point with a forehand. However, their shoulders touched once again as Eala went by. However, Sabalenka turned completely to face her this time. "Watch where you're walking," she yelled. AA didn't falter. "Play the ball, not the player." It burst in an instant. After dropping her racket, Sabalenka approached Eala and yelled something that the microphones only partially captured. "Calm down," the umpire said as he stepped up. Security moved in closer, not yet on court, but ready. With phones out and cameras recording from every angle, the crowd was buzzing and attempting to catch the moment when the composure broke. The coach even got up and gestured for her to back off, but she remained motionless. Standing barely meters apart, two players, one driven by anger and the other by defiance, refused to blink. The last spark appeared as the umpire. Cameras for escalation catch the chaos known as a code violation. Miss Sabalenka, verbal abuse. Chaos broke out throughout the stadium. Cheers, applause, and alcohol. Nobody was aware of their stance. Sabalenka's response. She chuckled. Dangerous, cold, and caustic. And the precise moment was captured by the cameras moving in all directions. The best player in the world, Aryna Sabalenka, lost it. Eala's jaw tightened as she turned aside, but the harm had already been done. The peace was broken. The game had become a struggle of ego rather than competence. Within minutes, the footage was everywhere. Slow-motion replays from broadcast cameras and fan phone clips both depict the same occurrence. While officials rushed to restore calm, Aryna Sabalenka stormed toward Alexa and yelled across the net. The internet doesn't wait for justifications. It produces its own. Within an hour, hashtags like Aryna Sabalenka and Tennis Meltdown rocketed to the top of Twitter. It was referred to as dishonor by some and passion by others. "This isn't competition, it's chaos," a fan commented. "What has become of sportsmanship? Sabalenka's fire is what makes her great," another responded. "Don't make her a bad person." It wasn't just fans, though. Journalists, analysts, and past players all jumped in. "Emotions are part of the game, but respect should never leave the court," tweeted tennis great Chris Evert. A sports blogger, meanwhile, created a headline that went viral. "Eala is tall. Not even Sabalenka could divert her attention." The anxiety only increased back at the competition. The camera focused on both benches during the subsequent changeover. In an attempt to ground Sabalenka, her coach leaned forward and said desperately. Eala sat silently, towel over her head, refusing to even glance across the court. Before another storm, there was silence. The replay appeared on the enormous screen after that. The hump on the shoulder. As the scene replayed, the audience exploded. The brilliance of Sabalenka. Eala gasped as she walked by calmly. Alcohol. Celebrate. The arena was split in half. To quiet the crowd, the umpire had to halt the game twice. Something about respect, Sabalenka yelled at the assembly at one point. The emotion was obvious, even though the microphones didn't capture it well. She wasn't just fighting Eala anymore. She was battling perspective. The anxiety of being portrayed as the aggressor. Eala, meanwhile, turned her poise into a weapon. Fans remarked that every time Sabalenka lost her fury, Ia appeared to become more composed and unflinching. After a heated disagreement, Ella was seen returning to her chair in a widely shared TikTok video with the remark, "When calm is louder than chaos." It received over 1 million views in a matter of hours. The incident was repeatedly aired on sports stations. Commentators argued over who went too far. "We've seen Sabalenka emotional before, but this feels different," one anchor remarked. "This seems intimate." The post-match news conference served to exacerbate the situation. Sabalenka spoke in a strained voice. "Yes, I'm emotional, but I'm human," she added. "Everyone occasionally loses their composure." Ella's statement, however, struck a different chord. Calm, exact, practically surgical. "I'm here to play tennis. What takes place outside of the points in fallout, the backlash hits. I'll let others make that decision." It was the quotation that people all across the world heard. Fans interpreted the video as a veiled jab after it was aired on many networks. A subtle way of expressing that Eala had retained her spirit whereas Sabalenka had lost herself. In the digital equivalent of a divided arena, Team Eala and Team Sabalenka were trending side by the following morning. The match had outgrown the plot. Whether they wanted it or not, it was now a movement, and both women had come to represent something much greater than tennis. The tennis world was in disarray the morning following the explosion. The scoreline did not make headlines. They have to do with the occurrence. It was featured prominently in every major outlet. Sabalenka becomes uncontrollable. Eala steals the show with her composed resistance. Social media was inundated with videos from every angle. Reaction memes, slow-motion edits, and commentary from those who hadn't even watched the game. Everybody had a viewpoint, and each viewpoint fueled the fire. For Aryna Sabalenka, it was a real-time nightmare. Her group made an effort to control the damage. Statements, clarifications, controlled interviews, but no amount of PR could silence the noise. Concerns regarding her on-court behavior were discreetly voiced by a few sponsors. An planned campaign starring her was even put on hold by one business. This was unusual for a player who was renowned for her strength and control. Her tennis was no longer the focus. It has to do with her fury. Even Sabalenka attempted to minimize it. She stated, "I play with emotion," in a post-match interview. "I am that person. I didn't go too far. I responded right away." But fans weren't convinced. The video showed her approaching Eala while yelling and with fiery eyes. It had a narrative of its own. Eala's silence, meanwhile, served to emphasize the story. Beyond her brief remark, she declined to comment. No interviews, no social media posts, and no responses. She became something more potent than a victor as a result of her silence and self-control. She came to represent poise, decency, and quiet strength, the calm in the midst of chaos. Eala's camp wasn't immune, though, despite the quiet. Even though she hadn't started the altercation, tournament organizers reportedly phoned her coach to discuss sportsmanship issues. In order to seem impartial and to demonstrate that they were treating all participants fairly, the organizers faced pressure. It was the kind of politics that takes place in private. A brief statement was issued by the Women's Tennis Association. "We remind every athlete of the expectations for behavior on the court. We welcome passion. Disrespect is not." Everyone knew who it was directed at, even if it didn't name anyone. It hurt Sabalenka. Her reputation as a fighter rather than a villain had been earned over years of hard struggle. Each camera now followed her in a different way. Every game was examined for signs of potential outbursts. Even a frustrated racket drop during her subsequent appearance caused the audience to gasp. It was the other way around for Eala. Overnight, her fan base grew rapidly. Tens of thousands of new admirers. She was praised in articles as tennis's next mental powerhouse.